In the early 1980s, in a quiet rural town of Louisiana, there lived a young couple, Richard and Emily, with their 2-year-old daughter, Lily. They had recently moved into a modest house next to Richard's elderly grandmother, who often warned them that the land held many untold stories, some darker than others. At first, life was peaceful. Richard worked at a mill, Emily tended the home, and Lily, a cheerful toddler, brought light into their days. But soon, the nights began to unravel into something they could not explain. It started quietly, Lily crying at bedtime. They thought it was just a phase, the way children sometimes fear the dark. Yet her cries grew louder, sharper, as though she was screaming at something unseen. No lullaby, no embrace could soothe her. She thrashed in her crib, eyes darting to the corners of the room, and every night, just past midnight, she would wake in terror, her tiny body trembling. A week passed, and exhaustion turned to dread. Emily's face grew pale from sleepless nights, Richard's temper frayed, and the house seemed to sink into gloom. One evening, as Emily shared her burden with the grandmother, the old woman's face darkened. "This land," she whispered, "has seen too much death. During the war, bodies were buried without prayers. Their spirits wander. Your child is sensitive. She sees them, feels them. Something has taken an interest in her." Fear clenched Emily's heart. The old woman urged them to seek help, not from doctors, but from a holy man. Find a monk, one who knows the old ways. Only he can set the spirit free. The next morning, Richard and Emily traveled to a temple on the outskirts of town. The abbot listened carefully, then agreed to come. When the monk, Master Liang, stepped in through the doorway, the air shifted. He was tall, his face lined with age, his eyes sharp as if seeing beyond the veil. He paused, his gaze sweeping the house. Then he motioned for Emily to bring Lily forward. The moment Lily was placed in his arms, her cries stopped. She looked up at him, wide-eyed, and, for the first time in days, she smiled. The family gasped. "She is not sick," Master Liang said softly. "There is another child here, one who has not moved on. It clings to her, seeking warmth." Richard felt a chill crawl up his spine. The monk ordered the couple to gather specific items, 6 branches of mulberry wood, each cut to the same length. With 3, he fashioned a small bundle to strike the ground when Lily cried. With the other 3, he formed a circle to be placed on the family's altar. "Every night," he instructed, "when she cries, strike the ground 3 times with the bundle and place the circle near her bed. When she sleeps peacefully, hang the circle above your doorway. Keep it there for 7 nights. On the last day, prepare an offering: milk, candies, toys, and incense. Leave them outside. Burn them for the spirit child and destroy the mulberry sticks. Only then will it let go." He tied a golden thread around Lily's wrist. "This will shield her. When you remove it, place it in your altar's incense bowl. Never discard it carelessly." That night, they followed every instruction. When Lily began to cry, Richard struck the ground with the mulberry bundle. The sound cracked through the room, sharp and unnatural. Immediately, the crying ceased. Lily's eyes softened, and she drifted into peaceful sleep. For the first time in weeks, the house was quiet. But Richard and Emily could not sleep. They lay awake, listening. From outside the walls, faint cries drifted. Not Lily's, but something else. The sound of a child, lost and broken, weeping in the garden. Every night for the next week, the cries returned. They echoed through the yard, slipping in through the cracks of the windows, clawing at the family's nerves. Emily wept, clutching Richard's hand as they endured the haunting. Lily, however, remained calm, her golden thread glinting faintly in the candlelight. On the 7th night, the cries reached their peak. It was as if dozens of children wailed at once, their voices rising and falling in anguish. The house shook with the force of it. Emily pressed her hands over her ears, tears streaming, while Richard struck the ground again and again. Finally, just before dawn, the cries ceased. Silence fell, heavy and absolute. The next morning, they prepared the offering as instructed. Milk, candies, toys, and paper money were placed outside the door. 6 sticks of incense burned, their smoke curling into the gray sky. As the flames consumed the paper, the air seemed to lighten, the oppressive weight lifting at last. Richard took the mulberry sticks and cast them into the fire. Ash scattered into the wind. From that day forward, Lily slept peacefully. No cries, no terror. The golden thread remained on her wrist until the monk himself returned to remove it, placing it reverently into the family altar. But Richard and Emily never forgot those nights. Sometimes, when the wind swept through the garden, carrying with it the faintest trace of a child's laughter or cry, they would look at each other and remember. Master Liang had freed their daughter, yes, but he had also reminded them that the world is not as simple as it seems. Some spirits linger, bound by sorrow or longing, and sometimes it takes the hand of the living to guide them home. This is a true story, passed down exactly as it happened. If you found this haunting story compelling, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to True Ghost Encounters. Your support keeps these chilling tales alive.